Oh, welcome everybody to the Steampunk Star Raisin live show, episode 9, December 3rd, 2015. I apologize. I was supposed to do an episode yesterday. It's supposed to be once every 2 weeks, but I had something very important to do, and I was busy, and I didn't get back until late, and just wasn't able to do it. But I am doing it today. For some reason, Daniel is missing. He's normally my co-host. Welcome. Welcome, Raymond, to the Steampunk Star Raisin live show. I am going to open up Microsoft Word here. I don't know where Daniel is, but and these are the topics. This is just a guide to go by. We can always go off course, but I like to talk about a little bit of everything. But I always like to talk about a good mystery. So the first topic is the Isdal woman, Isdal woman mystery. It's a mysterious woman who died in Norway in 1971, probably a Russian spy, if I had to guess. And the second topic is Kylo Ren trailer review. Third topic is Finn trailer review. And the fourth topic is Star Wars worries. My worries with Star Wars and some of the things that Disney is planning on doing. I'm a little bit worried that Disney may take it too far. And the fifth topic is Bern, why we should support Bernie Sanders. I always like talking a little bit about politics. And contemporary world history. The start of World War III in the Middle East, question mark. Some people have been gossiping on the internet, and they're worried that World War III might start because of the downing of the Russian jet in Syria, and Turkey's a NATO ally, and Russia is now talking about putting sanctions on Turkey, and now allying with the Kurds against the Turkish army in northern Syria, and so it could turn into a big mess if we're not careful. But Raymond, why don't you introduce yourself? I don't think you've ever been on the Steampunk Star Raisin live show. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm making a drink.
Okay, man.
Because I've only just got in from work, like in the last half an hour.
Okay, and where are you based, Raymond?
I'm in England.
Okay, what part of England? I've been to England.
Near Manchester.
Oh, okay. Never been to that part. I've been to London.
No.
I've been to London and I've been to Bristol. That's about it.
I've been doing 20 hours today.
Oh, what do you do for work?
For the first 10 hours today, I was I done security on a building site, and then I've just been in a nightclub for the last couple of hours.
Are you familiar with my live show or my YouTube channel?
I've come across it a couple of times, but not to the extent where I've watched it all the time, because I've been so busy, if you know what I mean. I've not had the chance to go through all of it.
That's understandable. Well, welcome. I don't mind having new guests on. Trying to expand the show. Let me screen share the first topic here.
Hang on 2 seconds.
What are you sprinkling? Okay.
That's it, I'm back. I just got one of my blue thingies out. Earphones.
Okay.
That's it. Oh, God.
I want to screen share the Wikipedia topic. This is Isdal woman. I like to cite my sources here, but the Isdal woman is the subject of an unresolved case involving an unidentified woman found in Isdalen Valley. I'm butchering it. It's Norwegian. Isdalen Valley in Bergen, Norway, on November 29th, 1970. It's considered one of Norway's most profound mysteries. The case has been the subject of intense speculation over the years regarding the identity of the victim, of events leading up to her death, and the cause of her death. Public interest in the case remains significant. I mean, you've got a Wikipedia article. In this, you can see in the Wikipedia page, this is a facial reconstruction of what is believed that she looked like when she was alive, because her body was found partially charred. Let me see if I can find the autopsy photo. do a Google image search, usually pops up. Yeah, I mean, she wasn't really, when she was found, her face wasn't badly burned, but as we all know, an autopsy photo is not a good example of what somebody looks like um, in life. And that's her autopsy photo. You know, she's obviously dead, but they took that when they first found her body. But the thing that's really bizarre about this woman is nobody still to this day knows who she was. She, by eyewitnesses, reported to have spoken many different languages, had many different wigs, and the police located her luggage, but all the tags had been removed off her luggage. Her passport had been burned beyond recognition, and they couldn't identify her. Sorry, go ahead.
So basically, she was like a Jane Doe.
She was a Jane Doe. She appeared out of nowhere, but investigation, police traced 2 suitcases that were found in an NSB train station in Virgin. Police also found that the labels had been removed from every piece of clothing she wore, and her fingerprints had been sanded away. In addition, they discovered a prescription for a lotion, but both the doctor's name and date had been removed. Within the lining of one of the suitcases, they discovered 500 Deutschmarks, this is before the euro, and partial fingerprints found on a few pieces of broken glass. They were insufficient for identification, but police suspected they belonged to the dead woman. And the police were able to make composite sketches on the basis of witness descriptions and analysis of the body. These sketches were published in the media and disseminated via Interpol in a number of countries. Police eventually found out that the woman had traveled all around Norway and Europe with 9 different identities. You know, and they mention here all the names. It's kind of redundant. I'm not going to mention all these names. But out of all these identities, they were false. And according to witnesses, the woman used various wigs, and in the trunk, they found several cryptic diary entries, and codes were later deciphered by the police, and they were coded dates and places that the woman had previously visited. The woman's teeth had been checked during the autopsy, and the way the dental work was performed indicated that she had been to a dentist in Latin America. So, and witnesses reported that she spoke several languages, French, German, English, and Dutch. The woman stayed in several hotels in Virgin, and she repeatedly changed rooms after checking in. And she wanted a room that had a balcony. In the papers, she signed the check. She specified she was a traveling saleswoman and an antiquities collector. So, yeah, she obviously had a fictitious identity, and it's a very mysterious, odd case because, you know, most of the time we're fascinated with missing persons, but this is a person who appeared out of nowhere. We don't know her identity, but her body was found. And the thing that I found really bizarre was police, I think, ruled her death. Oh, welcome.
All right, Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to say it, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
I always like to start off my show with a good mystery. Daniel is AFK today. I can't seem to get a hold of him on phone or anywhere. He's normally my co-host.
Right.
But, anywho, but yeah, and people like it when I talk about mysteries, so I always try to think of a mystery every week. And I think I talked about this mystery on your show. This is a Wikipedia article about this woman.
Right.
This is okay, I don't know how, I got so in-depth in reading the article that you might have heard half of what I said or saw.
Yeah, I walked in because it takes, I had to boot up my laptop, so it took a couple of minutes, so I was waiting for that to, I heard you read some of it, so it sounded familiar, like you did say that on my show, so.
Yeah, I did mention it on your show. I think it's a very fascinating case because they never discovered, and this is that's a picture of her autopsy photo. But this is a picture of what she probably looked like in life based on eyewitness testimony. Right. So she spoke multiple languages. All the labels off her clothing and her suitcase and her suitcases, everything she had purchased, all the labels been removed. she had a prescription for lotion, but the doctor's name and location and date was removed. And her dental work appears to be from Latin America, based on the type of dental work that was done on her teeth. And,
That's a coincidence, isn't it?
yeah, so I'm wondering if she was a Russian spy, and then she may have been executed for retribution. She might have been a KGB agent. I'm sorry?
You see that, Steampunk? It says that she was found in a park called Death Valley.
Yeah, called Death Valley, Death Valley of Norway. There's a Death Valley in the United States, of course, as well.
Yeah, famous for the Undertaker.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was her body was partially charred, but yet they ruled her death like a suicide, which
it's on the side.
Wow.
Oh, Daniel's okay. I sent a link to Daniel on Google Plus. Let me see if Daniel's in here. Do you guys have any other words or observation before I move on to the next topic?
No. I just, I think we talked about it on my show already. But yeah, this is really interesting. Yeah. Give Daniel. What was it? You found him?
He sent something on Google Plus. Hold on. I hate the new Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It's more confusing to link between windows. And when I go to... Anyway, I sent him a link on Google Hangouts. Hold on. Let's see if he's on. Oh, let me give him a...
Sorry, Steampunk.
I'm going to give him a link on Skype. He just said hello on Skype.
Oh.
But yeah, we're always, I like to have a formal list of what I'm going to talk about, but it's always a guide. We don't have to stick to it. We can go off topic if you want to, just for whatever. Just like I like to have a guide to go with from the get-go. Well, Daniel will get here, and so yeah, the next topic I was going to talk about the Kylo Ren. Kylo Tren. He trends.
That's a good name.
Lightsaber. The Kylo Ren trailer review. I actually thought it was an awesome trailer. And present to everyone. I didn't present to everyone. Okay. But yeah, I thought it was an awesome trailer. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up a screenshot of the Kylo Ren trailer.
You see that Mount Etna's went up in again. They're up
I sent Daniel the link on Google Plus.
Okay, thanks. I sent him a link.
Yeah, he's in.
He's in. All right. Welcome, Daniel. I had to start the show because I told everybody it was going to be 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but hold on.
What happened?
I'm screen sharing. There we go. Since I'm going to be talking about the Kylo Ren trailer, I might as well screen share with an image of Kylo Ren. And it'll make, in playback and recording, it'll make this video a little bit more interesting if I do more screen shares.
It said it gave up your presenting. What is that?
Oh.
Gave up your hosting thing, I think.
Present to everyone. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, yeah, the Kylo Ren trailer is pretty cool. It has some new dialogue between... have you guys seen the new Kylo Ren trailer?
If it's today, no.
No, it didn't come out today. It came out last week.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, because it's 2 weeks between shows, I'm trying to build up an audience, so I didn't talk about it in the last episode because it hadn't been released yet. Yeah, it's pretty cool because it has some new dialogue with Kylo Ren and Supreme Leader Snoke, and you see Kylo Ren getting off one of the troop transports with stormtroopers, and so it has a lot of footage we've seen before mixed with new footage, and it looks pretty badass. I was actually pretty impressed with the trailer. You get to see Poe Dameron lead a X-Wing squadron, and that was pretty cool as well. And you see missiles flying, not just blaster fire. And do you guys have any else to say about the Kylo Ren trailer?
I just can't wait for the film to come out.
I can't
Yeah.
either. I mean, I'm going to talk about this topic later on. I'm about 60% confident that it's going to be a good movie. I was 90% confident until I saw a trailer that I didn't like, which I am going to talk about, and that's the Finn trailer. I didn't really like the Finn trailer, and I could tell you about that. If we're done talking about Kylo Ren, I could move on to the Finn trailer review. Do you guys have anything else to say about
Well, I mean,
Kylo
here's the
Ren
thing.
before we move
Kylo
on?
Ren. I mean, is it that Kylo Ren's going to be the villain of all three, or we don't know yet?
I don't think we know yet. I've heard rumors of both. I heard that Kylo Ren gets killed in Episode 7, but then I heard that he actually survives.
Okay.
I heard that they had cast a new villain for Episode 8. You know, why would they cast a new actor for a new villain in Episode 8 if, if he survived? I mean, I'm wondering if
I
he's going to do
mean,
like
the thing is that if there's two, always two there are. I mean, maybe the other one gets killed and you still have Kylo Ren. I don't know.
Well, I've heard that in episode 8 he becomes a Jedi.
What is Daniel think?
There's a silly rumor that I don't believe. There's this rumor that Kylo Ren is actually Luke Skywalker, and that's why we don't see Luke Skywalker.
No, that's nonsense.
I agree, but I'm just listing all the rumors.
What do you think? What does Daniel think?
Daniel, what do you think? Do you have any observation, analysis of the Kylo Ren trailer? What's your opinion about Star Wars Kylo Ren?
I think it's awesome. I just, this one's going to be big. Just, yeah.
Okay, well, I am going to move on to the Finn. Yeah, so the next topic is the Finn trailer review. The Finn trailer was okay, but there were some scenes in it that I didn't like, and it worried me. It's like J.J. Abrams is up to the same shenanigans that he did in Star Trek that kind of ruined Star Trek Into Darkness. The Finn trailer, have you guys seen the Finn trailer?
I don't think I saw that one.
Me either.
Okay, that's a very silly trailer because it's got a stormtrooper. It's not even a special character. It's just a regular stormtrooper with white armor. He's got an arm-mounted lightsaber. I'm not kidding. And then Finn goes up and he's dueling with a stormtrooper with a lightsaber. And I was like, come on, that's just so...
Yeah, I don't know if I'm crazy
so
about
stupid.
that.
What? That just looks so stupid. And apparently, there was a rumor that I heard, I think it was Chris L. from the Whovians cast and Everything show.
Yeah.
He said that there was a rumor that in the First Order, all stormtroopers received lightsaber training. And this trailer apparently shows one of these stormtroopers pulling out an arm-mounted lightsaber, and it just looks really, really dorky. And because the one thing I liked about the oh, sorry, go ahead. There's a little bit of a time delay. Go ahead, repeat. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. We're just making sure. Yeah, the thing about like the Clone Wars is that they really fleshed out the history of the Jedi and the tactics that the Jedi use, and the whole point, the reason why for the Jedi a lightsaber is a superior weapon, or even for the Sith, is with their Force powers they can predict a few seconds into the future and deflect shots. And they can deflect shots back at the enemy, so they don't need a blaster because they can predict a few seconds into the future, and that's the reason why a lightsaber for a Jedi or a Sith is a superior weapon. But if you're a non-Force user, like a vanilla Stormtrooper, there would be no point in having a lightsaber because you wouldn't be able to deflect shots because you would have no Force ability to predict in the future. A blaster would be a much more effective weapon for a Stormtrooper, and that to me is why it really irked me when I saw that scene with like an arm-mounted lightsaber Stormtrooper, Finn's like dueling, and he's not even a special character. I can understand maybe if it was like a dark Force-wielding Stormtrooper. This is just like a vanilla Stormtrooper with a lightsaber, and it just, I don't know. It irked me, and it lowered my prediction. I originally had a prediction of 90% that the movie was going to be good. I have now lowered that to 60%. That's of course my opinion. But it just seems like Abrams up to his shenanigans. He wants to put his own take on things, and even if it goes against the original canon. But you know, I still think it's going to be a good movie because Lawrence Kasdan and the script, you know. But, you know, Abrams is going to put his 2 cents worth in, of course.
Right.
But if you guys haven't seen the trailer, the Fenn trailer, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. You should probably see it sometime. But do you guys have any other words or observations before I move on to the next topic?
Well, actually, I mean, I don't know. He seems pretty cool to me, Finn, but he's not the. I mean, I guess he's part of the main cast because you got Daisy, you know, him, and isn't there a new hero coming in episode 8?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I know Poe Dameron. To me, Poe Dameron is the new Han Solo. Even though he's an X-wing pilot, he kind of feels like a Han Solo. And Fenn, to me, I have no problem with Fenn in the trailer. I just had a problem with the Stormtrooper with an arm-mounted lightsaber, or stun baton, or whatever. It looked like a lightsaber because it glowed with energy. But the Fenn is like the new Luke Skywalker to me, and Rey is like the new Princess Leia, and BB-8 is the new R2-D2, and you know Kylo Ren, I guess for now, is like the new Darth Vader, and Poe Dameron is like the new Emperor, like the new Emperor Palpatine. So, and I like what they're doing. They're kind of setting up a new generation because the old actors, they've gotten very old, and they're not going to be able to do movies for much longer. And so they need to set up a whole new mythology and new generation that they need to connect it to so that it seems believable that it's a Star Wars movie. And I like what they've done for the most part. I just don't like the fact that stormtroopers have lightsabers. It just makes no sense to me.
Well, like you said, it's a new generation, so they've got to think of something new to do. Otherwise, it's going to be the same boring stuff again, like on the old stuff. And they've got to differentiate it between that, and they've got to make their own spin on it, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough. I mean, that's why I still give it like a 60% chance of being a good movie. But I don't know. The scene with the Fed dueling with a stormtrooper with an arm-mounted stun baton or lightsaber just kind of irked me or rubbed me the wrong way.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's really going to be good. You'll like it. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
It might be better when we've seen the film.
No, I agree. I'm just speculating at this point. So you know, it's just something that I have to say that's the only trailer that bothered me. All the other trailers were great. Even the Kylo Ren trailer was great. You know, the Kylo Ren trailer was like, wow, it's just making me more and more excited to see the movie. Yeah, so if you guys don't have anything else to say about the Fenn trailer, I will move on to topic 3.
Go on.
Okay, topic, or actually topic 4, my apologies. Topic 4 would be my Star Wars worries. I've already conveyed some of my Star Wars worries with the stormtroopers wielding lightsabers. The other Star Wars worry that I have is that there was a story that was, we might have talked about this on the Everything show, but there was a story that SourceFed covered and a couple other news outlets online covered. That Disney is discontinuing all franchise of Slave Leia Princess.
Yeah, I heard that.
Because they don't think it's very PC, and they want to make it more Star Wars, more family friendly. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried of two things with Star Wars. I'm worried they're going to try to make it too family friendly and too PC, and they're going to sacrifice some of the qualities that Lucas put into Star Wars. And I'm worried that they're going to be making too many Star Wars movies, because now Disney, for like the next 10 years, is going to have a Star Wars movie coming out every year. They're anxious to make that $4 billion back. And,
well, here's the thing about the $4 billion. I mean, this movie alone could make them $4 billion. So I don't think they're anxious. I mean, they know they're going to make it back with just maybe 1 or 2 movies, you know? So I think they have an overall plan, and the overall plan is that, you know, episodes 7, 8, 9 will be, like, all those movies will be focused on, you know, the Skywalker family through the decades, and if there's a 10, 11, a 12, 13, 14, 15, it's all going to be about the Skywalker families. These other ones are going to be, basically solely about either Han Solo or Darth Vader or Yoda or Boba Fett, or like Rogue One or whatever, that have their own individual thing. So I think that the Star Wars movies, there's going to be a lot of Star Wars movies. If it ever gets to a thing where it's too much, they'll probably slow down. But
so you think it'll beat Avatar? Because Avatar made $2.7 billion.
yes, I think it's going to beat Avatar. Yes,
I think it is
without
myself.
a doubt. I think it will be like $3,400,000,000 and something like that.
Yeah, I'm not being rude. Compare Star Wars to Avatar. Star Wars is like been around longer.
I
So
think $3 billion.
Well,
or
I'm not
3,400,000,000.
comparing it as far as quality or, and it's a different mythology. I'm just saying Avatar is the top-ranking king of financial gross.
Right.
And, I was just inquiring.
I'd say it's definitely over $3 billion. It's going to make. I'm calling it. Well, definitely over $3 billion.
yeah,
Okay. Well, Revenge of the Sith, I think, made $875 million, but if you adjust it to today's dollars, it's like the equivalent to $1.2 billion. But it'll do better than Revenge of the Sith because a lot of people hated the prequels.
Now, if you ask me how Avatar 2 was going to do, I would say definitely nowhere near Avatar 1. I don't think it's going to keep doing better. I think the Avatar movies are going to do worse. But I honestly think that Star Wars is here to stay basically. I mean, 7, 8, 9. I mean, for the next at least 15 years, there's going to be always a Star Wars movie out every year. So, or maybe even 2 a year. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. And another thing I'm worried about is in Star Wars Rogue One, which is I think they're just about wrapped up with production on that. That's coming out next Christmas. That's going to be another trilogy, a prequel trilogy, and they are going to do CGI Peter Cushing at great expense, trying to make him look photorealistic. And he's actually, even though he's been dead since like 1994, I think, 93 or 94 when he passed away, he's still going to get a movie credit because they're using his likeness.
Yeah,
But
see, the thing a lot of people don't know is that George Lucas was way ahead of his time. So
Yeah.
he foreseen a time where the actor would die, and that's why he had them sign these contracts. I think he even has the rights to Alec Guinness, young Harrison Ford, Luke, Leia. I mean, all of them, and most of the actors. He had them sign it, and you know how when they had that revolutionary technology with the wrestling figures, it was first to have that where the mapping of the figure with the computer going around your head and basically mapping you out. He kind of did something like that back then, and just hoping that technology catches up with what he sees it as, and now he's actually able to do it. So. The thing is, it's fantastic because the actors signed off on it. All the actors did, and their family, will reap of the rewards and make money for it. With the estate of the family.
What I would argue as a counter argument, would it not have been better just to hire an actor who looks like Peter Cushing?
No, because he told them flat out there was going to be a point in time with the technology that he was going to do this, and they signed it knowing that. So. I foresee that that's going to happen a lot in the future when actors die, that they gave the rights to do that, and that way their family keeps making income from it.
If you think about it, it's like Paul Walker in the Furious 7. His brother and that helped out with the CGI effects, and his family's leaking in the walls of that film now.
Right.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And also with Star Wars, with the money, it's also going to have video games being made. Going to have models like dolls and like everything. It's going to have all that coming in. So it's going to have
I do think that this will The Force Awakens will be the highest grossing Star Wars film. But how much it will gross is debatable. But I mean, the reason why I can say that is I just get a sense of how well it's going to do by the fact that you can go to Walmart and they're almost always sold out of Star Wars toys, or at least the action figures, because the action figures are the cheapest thing that you can buy. And because I like to try to go. I don't collect action figures anymore, but I like to get intel on the movie because usually you can get really good intel about the action figures, but it's been very difficult because most of the times when I go to the local Walmart, they're sold out of all their Star Wars action figures. They might have one or two, and that's a good signal that the movie's going to do very well. Because if fans are that fanatical to buy out all the action figures, then they're going to be fanatical to see the movie like 10 times.
Right.
Well, you want to have a laugh? I was in my nearest city, Sheffield, the other week, and they've got a Disney store there, and well, there was this woman and bloke, I think it was a mum and dad, asking about Star Wars figures and for their kid for Christmas, and they said there's about a 3-month delay because there's the orders that much.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean that's impressive. So I'm not sure if it'll outdo Avatar, but I think it'll do a lot better than Revenge of the Sith. I definitely agree with that. I think it'll at least do $2 billion, but I don't know.
You'll be surprised.
You got to think of it this way. You got to think of it this way. If a movie can make like a $2 billion, $700 million based on 1 or 2 viewings, these fans are going to see Star Wars like 10 times each. So to me, it's easy. It's definitely going to be $3 billion, $400 million, easy.
Okay.
That's to me.
Yeah.
And nothing will come close to it for a while.
If I had the money to spare to wager, I would wager, but I don't have money to spare.
I know.
But
if I had a lightsaber, I'd go and force them to give me half of the profits.
maybe we'll make a contest or something on the Everything Show. We'll think about it. We'll do something. Yeah.
Okay.
Gives me an idea.
Or on that Wheels cast.
I'm always about sharing ideas. But so as far as the topic of Star Wars worries, do you guys have anything else to add? Daniel, do you have anything else to add on the topic of worries about Star Wars?
No.
Joe, do you have anything else to add?
I'm concerned why we're not seeing anything about Mark Hamill, but I'm sure there's a good reason. And I'm not really worried at all that the movie is... again, I've been wrong in the past, but I'm pretty confident that this movie's going to do amazing.
Well, I think the reason why Mark Hamill's not in there, and I've heard there's multiple sources that seem to reaffirm this rumor, is Mark Hamill only appears in one scene at the end of the movie, and the movie ends on a cliffhanger very similar to Empire Strikes Back. There's a cliffhanger, something is revealed, and Luke Skywalker, he's been in hiding for 30 years, or he's been a hermit for 30 years, and he's been missing. Nobody knows where he's at, so it's a search for Luke Skywalker, and he doesn't appear until the last scene of the movie, which is kind of sucky for a character like Luke Skywalker, because you would think you would want more of him in the sequel, but from what I understand, it builds up the story for the next film, Episode 8, because Luke Skywalker is going to have a more prominent role.
He's probably going to either defeat Kylo Ren, or if the character dies, then he's going to die. But I think he's going to defeat Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren's going to be more of a threat in Episode 8, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, while we're still on the topic of Star Wars, because the next topic is politics. I like talking politics, but while we're still on the topic of Star Wars, I'll bring up my favorite rumor. I don't believe it's true, but I just can't believe that it went viral on Reddit. What do you guys think? We've talked about this on the Everything Show. What do you guys think of Jar Jar Binks being Supreme Leader Snoke? There's some people who really believe it. I mean, I wouldn't give too much credit to it, but it's just people who really believe that.
The odds are like almost 99.9% that Jar Jar Binks is done in the Star Wars universe. He's not going to ever appear again, other than like a comedy cartoon or something. So I think pretty much that we will not see Jar Jar Binks in Episode 7. I'm pretty confident about that.
There's more chance.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, there's more chance of Darth Sidious returning than Jar Jar Binks. Put it that way. Put it that way.
Well, I mean, and Abrams even said that he would like to put Jar Jar Binks' bones in the desert and just appear in a background scene, and you would have to really pay attention to notice. He mentioned that in an interview, so pay attention for that. Maybe Jar Jar will be in Episode 7, but as a skeleton.
Well, I just don't see a point at all, but okay.
I mean, well, Abrams actually mentioned it, though. He's I would like to put him in a background
But
scene as a skeleton.
I would not give any attention to Jar Jar Binks, even like an Easter egg. So
I'm not being rude. You know Hollywood producers and directors lie sometimes.
That's true, and Abrams is notorious for lying. Like, he lied about Star Trek Into Darkness. He said, Khan's not in this film. He said that before the movie came out.
Joe knows what I mean as well.
Yeah.
But, so if you guys don't have anything else to add to Star Wars...
Did Daniel want to talk about... I mean, you're not talking about Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any news about Star Trek? I mean, the topic list is only a guide.
There's nothing. There's no news at all. They're keeping us really hush-hush.
Yeah, the weird thing about Star Trek Beyond is they haven't released a trailer, but yet the release date is in June. That's very unusual. I mean, I remember, like, other Star Trek movies, they released a trailer, like, a year before the movie came out.
I'm, like, 50% sure that the trailer for Star Trek will be on The Force Awakens.
Exactly.
That's the rumor. I heard that they are going to put a trailer for that. It would make sense to do that.
Yeah, Justin Lin did hint that they're going to put the trailer on The Force Awakens, which is awesome because they can target a huge audience. You know? Which I'm pretty sure. I just hope this new movie does well, you know? I just really hope. What do you think this movie's going to do, Joe?
I think the Star Trek movie is going to be phenomenal, and I think they're going to have a winner because I think they learned from their mistakes, and I think that this is going to, the amount of money that this new Star Trek movie is going to do is going to basically pave the way for the next couple, not just the next one. So I think it's going to like be bounced back in a good way.
Well, Star Trek 4 is already in pre-production, and Abrams is the executive producer for that as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I'm pretty confident that I don't know about the 4, but I'm pretty confident that this one. I mean, I think they're handling it right, but then again, I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, so I mean, I'm really hoping, you know, that we're surprised in a good way.
Like I told you, Joe, there's like a lot of people who are determined to destroy this new franchise, which I think is.
I don't know about destroy. I think that I think they're hesitant because of Into Darkness. I don't think they would want to destroy their own.
I would say retire.
Show.
That's a more better one.
Yeah, I don't think they would want to destroy their own franchise that they like, that they've been fans of. I think that they're just weary of it, you know. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think I hear people talking bad about the first movie. Okay, you can say whatever you want about the second movie.
Well, I mean, Abrams kind of did that to himself. I mean, he did such a terrible job with with plot holes a mile wide in the second movie. It was just lazy screenwriting. He has to take credit for it. He wrote the screenplay. And and now people, like when I went to Kamikaze, fans are now saying that the 2009 movie sucked, when they originally said it didn't suck, because they now equate the two movies together. And they were like, oh, it all
that's the problem, actually.
It's a bit like Moffat, isn't it? Everyone blames him, and
you know,
I'm just maybe.
And they're trying to, and now Abrams is just trying to feel the force.
I'm just concerned, but yeah, Daniel, I'm sorry.
Like originally, I heard that Abrams didn't want to do Khan, but it was like his superiors who told him, "You got to redo Khan." He didn't want to do it originally.
I don't know about that.
He didn't want to do it originally. He wanted to do a new story. He wanted to do something like Hero.
Abrams is the master of copy and things. He's not very good at coming up with original ideas. I mean, look at his work on Armageddon. He wrote the screenplay for that crap as well. But
that was a scary movie.
I mean, you know, Armageddon is a typical Michael Bay movie. It's all full of explosions.
I liked it. I mean,
I didn't like it, but
yeah, I remember.
Mean, space shuttles don't have that kind of range. You know anything about the science behind the space shuttle and the engineering? They don't have a range to go into deep space. They're an orbital spacecraft. You'd have to build a whole new spacecraft. They just don't have the capacity to carry an oxygen supply for that type of deep space mission. But anyway, that's another whole rant. I don't want to get too far off the topic. So if we're not talking about Star Trek or Star Wars, I'll move on to the topic of Bernie Sanders. He's my first choice right now for president. I really like Bernie Sanders. I'm worried that Hillary Clinton is going to get the nomination, and she's a pseudo liberal. She's not a true liberal, in my opinion. And Bernie Sanders he's kind of a moderate liberal. There's some things that he's a little bit conservative on, but I like him a lot better than Hillary Clinton, and I definitely like Bernie Sanders a hell of a lot better than Donald Trump. Donald Trump scares me. Donald Trump.
Why does he scare you?
He reminds me of Bruto Mussolini. But he reminds me of a young Adolf Hitler before he came into office.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean, with him saying that he's going to round up immigrants, immigrants who've lived here for years, who already got citizenship, and he's going to build a wall, us versus them. He seems very juvenile to me. I can't,
Yeah, but
I just can't stand Donald Trump, and I don't even like
a lot of things that are going on in this world that people need solutions, and there are attacks every week. People getting killed. There's terrorists everywhere. So, we need something different in the White House.
Yeah, and I say Bernie Sanders. That's what I say. He's more of a true progressive. The reason why I say he's a true progressive is that, like, Bernie Sanders voted against the first Gulf War. You can actually look up videos on YouTube. He voted against the first Gulf War. He voted against the second Gulf War or the Iraq War, even when it wasn't popular, even when the majority of people in his party and the Republican Party were saying, let's go to war of Iraq for no reason. And he stood firm, even when it wasn't popular. And he seems to be more of a man of convictions. Like Hillary Clinton, there's a video where she was against gay rights, where back in the mid-'90s when she was running for senator, and there's a video where she's like, I don't support gay marriage. And it's because her pollsters told her that 60% of Americans didn't support gay marriage at the time, which now they do. And so she swings wherever her pollsters tell her, and you can't really tell what Hillary Clinton's true opinion is. I kind of agree with the Amazing Atheist on, he endorses Bernie Sanders as well. And I just think that Bernie Sanders is a true progressive. Obama is a fake progressive. He's more of a conservative, and the same thing for Hillary Clinton. And I think the Donald Trump is a scary supreme douchebag, and Ben Carson's just crazy. He's second place in the Republican nomination. So go ahead.
I'm not being
rude.
Disagree
with me. You guys can disagree with me and attack my opinions. I won't take it personally.
Well, I'm not being.
Make it interesting.
I'm not being rude. I know I'm not from America and everything, but I follow the presidency very carefully, But if you think about it, people change once they get into charge of the country. They say this stuff now, but when they actually get into the place, they can change just like that.
Well, that's true. That happened with Obama. Obama became more of a center-right conservative. He's only liberal on social issues, but when it comes to fiscal policy, when it comes to foreign policy, Obama is very far-right.
Exactly.
And that's been very disappointing.
Well, being that you and I are the only ones that could vote, Steampunk, because Daniel's in Canada, Raven's in the UK, I am going to say... I'm not going to say who I'm going to vote for at the moment, but I am going to say I'm definitely not voting for Hillary. So I don't know if you could surmise which way I'm going to go, but without a doubt,
I was surprised you were going with Trump.
I didn't say I was going out with Trump.
Oh, okay.
I said I'm not.
It could be.
I said I'm not voting for Hillary. There's a difference. But I do think that. I don't even know if I'm going to reveal who I'm going to vote for, because that's the one thing I promised I wouldn't do. It's talk politics,
right.
but here's the thing. Everybody brings something to the table. Donald Trump, people agree with him on certain issues and disagree. Same thing like Obama. Obama did some nice things in the White House, and then he didn't, So I don't go against the president. That's another thing I don't do either, because he's our president to the end. But I just think that we need a someone in the office that's not going to be afraid to take action against these terrorists. And I think the fact that we're not doing anything enough makes it worse. So I'm going to look to the person that people are going to not really mess with, so to speak, in that regard. But my attitude changes all the time, so we'll see who I vote for.
Well, you want to have a laugh, Joel? Yesterday, I was telling you before we went live that our government, like our MP went in and said about bombing Syria, and they've gone through with it.
Right.
Everyone wants them out now because for they're killing innocent children and that. But I'm not being rude. The terrorists are kind of doing the same by going into every country and going into public places.
The problem
you talk
is
about ISIS, yeah.
You can't pinpoint. There's no type of weapon that you can attack the terrorists and then not know if there's any kids by there. I mean, it's like you're taking a risk going to war in general.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
In the Syrian, well, I mean, this leads up, since we're already talking about politics, this is the reason why I put it on the topic list. The other topic is, the last topic that I have for the show today is the start of World War III in the Middle East, ? There's a lot of people on the internet that are worried that World War III might start because of the Syrian conflict.
First of all, it's not going to start because in order to be a world war, everybody would have to be against each other, and the only people, everybody's against ISIS. They're not against each other. So
you're worried about the Russian jet that got shot down by Turkey, and Turkey's a NATO ally.
I don't think. I don't think we're near that. If there is going to be a World War III, I don't think it's until 2016, but January. But I hope it not. I really hope not. I mean, that's going to be a mess for whoever takes over. That's for sure.
Because WeAreChange.org, I don't always agree with WeAreChange because they're kind of libertarian type organization. I agree with them on some things, but not everything. But they do have interesting independent media coverage, and they think World War III might start over this. And that it breaks down to is you have three different sides in Syria. You have ISIS, and you have
Assad.
US. You have Assad, which he's a Russian ally, and you have United States and their rebels that they ally with. So you have U.S. and allies, Russia and allies, and ISIS. So there's three different sides, and what the real conflict comes down to, and I really applaud WeAreChange.org. I'm not associated with them. I'm just citing my sources here. Anyway, I do applaud them for simplifying the conflict, what it really comes down to. Assad turned down, I think it was Unico, they're the company behind Union 76, wanted to put an oil pipeline through Syria. They also want to put an oil pipeline through Afghanistan and through Iran. And this is the reason why the war drumming against Iran. For years, the United States has been trying to go to war. Our politicians in our Congress have been trying to drum for war with Iran. The real reason is they want to bypass the Russian oil supply. Russia has a really rich oil supply in the Caucasus, and Europe is dependent on Russian oil. And they want to bypass the Russian oil supply by building an oil pipeline connecting the Middle East to Turkey, so they would no longer need to buy Russian oil. Well, Russia is allied with Syria, which opposes this pipeline, and Russia opposes the pipeline. This really what it comes down to is money and oil. And a lot of people don't realize that China is actually now sending fighter aircraft as well. People don't, the American media, you have to do independent research. I'm an independent journalist. I've got journalism credentials at I mostly do comic book journalism, I'll admit. But I am an independent journalist and I do my own independent research. But there's the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. There's a military alliance between China and Russia. Once a year, they meet in Shanghai, and the Chinese military trains with the Russian military. So if Russia gets in a war with NATO, it will drag China in, and that's most of the world.
See, that the problem is things could escalate very quickly. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a world war, but, with things heating up, it could be as early as January 16th. I mean, you never know. I mean, it's like
no, I agree.
Things could heat up immediately, and it could degrade every week. I really hope that's not the case. But
well, I hope not either. I mean, I just think that it's important to talk about, and something to be concerned about. I mean, you shouldn't shy away from it because it's unpleasant.
Right.
That's all.
The reason why I say January is because, you're going to have confusion where you're going to have somebody, I mean, well, this year, the election is not till the following year, but I think it would, with the new year, a lot of crazy things are going to happen, so I'm worried, but I hope it doesn't, it's not the case,
I don't feel like... Sorry,
I,
Steampunk.
I'm sorry, Kay. I do follow Russia Today. I know Russia Today has bias because it's Russian state TV, but they do. It's interesting for some sources if you consider that there's a bias because it's Russian state TV. But Russia is apparently allying the Russian military. They've got boots on the ground already, as well as air support and Navy, because Russia has a naval base. They have a Syrian port that they have a naval base at. A lot of people are not aware of that. And so Russia's heavily invested in Syria. They're not going to leave anytime soon. And they have allied with Kurd rebels against the Turkish army. And another thing they've done is they've deployed SAM missile launchers capable of shooting down F-16s in defense of Syrian airspace. So if Turkey sends any more bombers or any planes to do airstrikes into Syria, they could get shot down by Russian SAMs. And Russia is talking about putting sanctions on Turkey. So I'm not sure where this is going, but it doesn't look good. Well, that's all I'm going to. I just a casual observation. It doesn't look good to me. Do
you think Steampunk we're going to get attacked? We're going to get attacked big time here at home.
You mean by ISIS or by Russia?
Yeah, by ISIS.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. There was a video that leaked earlier this year. There's been some really sloppy airdrops by our military. And I don't want to get into conspiracy theory because I can't really prove anything. Right. But there were some airdrops where they were dropping weapons for moderate rebels, and they ended up in the hands of ISIS. And ISIS is really good at social media. And ISIS shared this video that went viral on YouTube. The video I saw on YouTube wasn't the original video because I think the Twitter account got taken down. But ISIS was celebrating that they captured all these U.S. weapons from this airdrop. So why is the United States dropping weapons in such a sloppy manner where ISIS can get a hold of them? Or maybe they want ISIS to get a hold of them because the United States has already publicly said, like John Kerry has said, that Assad must go. Why is the focus on Assad and not ISIS?
I don't know whether you read it, but there was an article last month, I think it was, which said that all the rich Middle Eastern countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and that are all funding ISIS. Part of the US is funding ISIS, like the rich people.
Well, yeah, I mean, they practice this. ISIS practices the same form of Islam that Saudi Arabia does, and Saudi Arabia is a key ally. And keep in mind that most of the terrorists on 9/11 were Saudis, like 19 out of 21. So why isn't Saudi Arabia on the terrorist list?
Or Qatar.
There's a lot of inconsistencies with foreign policy in the Middle East. That's all I can say.
It's making you think that these countries are like bribing everyone to like keep it hush.
Well, maybe they want to keep the conflict going because the more they can destabilize things increases the chance to build an oil pipeline. I really think it comes down to money. It's really that simple. Follow the money. Follow the money. And you guys are free to disagree with me. I don't care. You could say I'm a liar.
No, man. A lot of stuff you say makes sense. So.
I just like I was saying to you, Joe, weren't it? I like about that they're drawing everyone out of their major cities and everything, leaving attacking small places like they did yesterday in San Bernardino, which I'm still sad about. And
I don't think that has to do with ISIS. So I'm familiar with that. I know. I looked it up today. There was a mass shooting where 14 people died in San Bernardino, and it was a disability center. It was disabled people that were shot. Yeah. They shot the guy, though, I think.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they're if they attack these smaller cities, they're drawing the major cities out of their comfort zone. Then when they're open, wide open, they're gonna attack again just like they did with New York that year in Dial 1.
Well, you got to try to.
And it's like France. They only had France had an eye terrorist alert, and they attacked that just like a piece of cake.
Right.
You could be vigilant and cautious, but you can't allow it to devolve into xenophobia. That's what I worry about. And I'm just looking at it from a neutral point of view because I'm an atheist. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I have a little bit of Jewish in me, but I'm not of Jewish religion. So, but I don't have. I'm looking at it from a neutral point of view. I worry when they say, when you see politicians or people running for office saying, we need to do this with all the Muslims, or we need to, have identity cards, special identity cards, or background checks for all Muslims that are American. I worry about that kind of stuff. So, common sense security, but not overreaction and not xenophobia. That's what we need.
Yeah.
If we devolve into xenophobia, then you let the terrorists win. And I already feel like in a lot of ways, the United States has, because we've lost so many civil liberties with the Patriot Act. I mean, it's like a nightmare going through airports these days.
I know. It's just, I'm just so scared that because they did, like ISIS said the other week. They said that every time that we go over to them countries to bring like the people over, there's already one of them in their group, and no one's checked them already.
Yeah, you're breaking out there, Raymond.
I said it scares me because ISIS said a few weeks back, when we go over to them countries and help them with aid and bring their people into our countries, that ISIS have said that
I think he froze. I think Steampunk froze. Continue.
Yeah, that ISIS have said that there's people infiltrating from within, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like every so often. Like they said that there's like every time we.
Sorry about that. This is the last. I like this coffee shop. The only drawback is the internet refreshes once an hour. I have to re-click on the agreement. Right. And it'll log me out after an hour. So that's the reason why I didn't hear the last.
So you're at your hour, basically.
But now I've refreshed my hour. So I should be good if we got 3 minutes on. 3 minutes left of the show. Do you guys have any other final words or anything else to say about World War III or ISIS or foreign policy?
I'm just praying for peace, and I hope everything simmers down, because if it doesn't, we're gonna have more problems later on.
Yeah, I mean, I just say let the Russians handle it. The United States has been in perpetual war for 14 years, and it's not getting any better. The whole reason why we're supposedly, or I shouldn't say we, the United States went to war with Iraq was supposedly to make things better, and it made things worse. And so I just say let the Russians handle it. The Russians have heavy firepower. They should be able to take on ISIS by themselves.
Right.
Go ahead.
And we're involved, so they're going to have us on their side. They're going to have France.
Well, Putin actually, I'm not a big fan of Putin because he invaded Ukraine and took Sevastopol, which was Ukrainian territory. Putin is a dictator. He's also, but besides that point, Putin did approach the United States State Department and they said, hey, we need to, ally together and have a plan to fight against ISIS, and the United States was like, no, Assad must leave. And so the United States seems to be more against Assad than it is ISIS for some reason. That's what I don't get. Unless maybe they secretly are allied with ISIS. I don't know. But I can't prove that, so I can't state that as a fact. It's just really weird to me.
All I'm going to say is rest in peace to all the victims that have lost their lives this year to unprovoked violence.
Of course, yeah. Well, anyway, I got 1 minute out, and it usually takes about a minute for this thing to wind down. So I'm going to do my tagline, or my exit line. This is Steampunk Star Raisin out. You have a nice day, and I will see you in 25 billion years of will.
Me too.